Hello, Namaskar, Vanakkam. Welcome to CBSE with Sudhir, where we are going to do a test paper. This is going to be a test paper video, which is going to be about the chapter From Barter to Money. तो अगर आपने already video देख लिया है, explanation video, and you have understood it, get set for a rather tough and long test paper video. So solve the test with me, pause the video, guess the answer and see whether your answer is correct or not. और बाद में हम थोड़े से लॉन्ग फॉर्मेट आंसर्स भी देखेंगे जिसको कि आप पढ़ लीजिए, स्क्रीनशॉट ले लीजिए, सो दैट यू आर एबल टू राइट द आंसर इन द सेम वे. उसी तरह से एग्जाम में आप आंसर्स लिख सकते हैं ताकि आपको 3 में से 3, 4 में से 4 मार्क पूरे मिले. सो दिस इज एन 80 मार्क्स का टेस्ट पेपर. काफी मेहनत लगी है. वीडियो को हाइप, शेयर और सब्सक्राइब चैनल को जरूर कीजिए. ओके, let's first look at section A. These are the MCQs for 20 marks. So 20 MCQs बनाए हैं. In ancient times, Raghav had extra rice and needed shoes. यानी कि उसके पास चावल ज्यादा थे और उसको जूतों की जरूरत थी. While एक cobbler और एक मोची के पास एक्स्ट्रा फुटवेयर था लेकिन उसको चावल की जरूरत नहीं थी. Which limitation of barter is seen here? इससे हमको barter का क्या लिमिटेशन पता चलता है और ये इस पर्टिकुलर चैप्टर का दिल है. दिस इज एट द हार्ट ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर चैप्टर. लैक ऑफ अ कॉमन यूनिट ऑफ वैल्यू, प्रॉब्लम ऑफ डबल कोइंसिडेंस ऑफ बॉन्ड्स, डिफिकल्टी इन स्टोरिंग गुड्स और लैक ऑफ ट्रस्ट. तो इसमें से कौन सा बिल्कुल सही ऑप्शन है? सही ऑप्शन है ऑप्शन बी. और इसका मैं एक्सप्लेनेशन भी जल्दी से दे देता हूं क्योंकि बार्टर को जरूरत होती है कि दोनों पार्टीज को ऐसी चीज की जरूरत हो जो कि दूसरे बंदे के पास हो. द अदर पर्सन शुड हैव दैट थिंग. सो बार्टर रिक्वायर्स बोथ पार्टीज टू वांट ईच अदर्स गुड्स एट द सेम टाइम. लेकिन यहां पर मोची को ही डिड नॉट नीड राइस, सो देयरफॉर द बार्टर कैन नॉट टेक प्लेस एंड दिस इज कॉल्ड double coincidence of bonds. Double coincidence of bonds is a very important concept that you need to know very well as far as this chapter is concerned. Let's move to the next one. The next question is, let me just put the MCQs also on the screen for you. A shepherd wants to buy a plow. Plow means a hull. Okay. But the farmer refuses to accept goats because he cannot store them. He does not have any space for the goats. What problem is seen here? Lack of measurement, lack of divisibility, difficulty in storing and transporting, or lack of regulation. Which of the 4 is the right option? So what you always need to do is to क्वेश्चन को ध्यान से पढ़ो और उसको अप्लाई करो कि इसमें से कौन सी चीज का एप्लीकेशन यहां पर है. द प्रॉब्लम इज ऑफ स्टोरिंग बिकॉज वहां पर हिंट भी दिया है that he did not have any space to store the goods. So many barter goods were bulky, perishable or costly to store and transport. Which of the following is an example of commodity money? Digital wallet balance, gold ornaments, debit card या check. Which of these is a commodity? Commodity means some kind of good. Digital wallet balance, gold ornaments, debit card या check. तो इसमें commodity कौन सा है? वस्तु कौन सी है? The वस्तु is being gold ornaments. A shopkeeper accepts a 100 rupee note although it is only paper because what is the reason? He likes the design, it is rare, it is legal tender or it has high paper quality. Because it is legal tender. कभी-कभी उस 100 रुपए के नोट की हालत खस्ता होती है. It's not in very good condition, but you still take it because it is legal tender. Even if it is torn, you can always go to the bank and get a proper note in exchange. A trader accepts a 500 rupee torn note because the serial number is clear. This shows what? That money is perishable? No. Money needs metal backing? No. Value comes from government guarantee because उसपे RBI governor का signature होता है, right? Money cannot be replaced. The correct option is option C. Which situation? See, what I'm doing is that I'm helping you revise the chapter also along with this test paper. तो इस पूरे वीडियो को देखने का वो फायदा बड़ा है. Which situation shows money as a unit of value? And I'm telling you, if I'll put a couple of videos. If the videos are not going to get enough views, I will not do any more test paper videos because इसमें time बहुत लगता है. I have to do a lot of work for class 10 and class 12 board examination. So उसमें से टाइम निकाल के आई एम डूइंग दिस. But if I'm not going to get any views, if not many students are interested, why waste time? So I will not do. I'll just put 2 videos and see the response. Okay, I'm making this very clear. Which situation shows money as a unit of value? Measuring grain, barber charging 100 rupees, giving free samples, or storing wheat. So shows money as a unit of value. इसमें से unit of value किस में पता चल रहा है? Option B में. Then next question. तानिया buys bangles because 80 marks का टेस्ट पेपर बनाने में बहुत ज्यादा एफर्ट लगता है. तानिया buys bangles using UPI. This is paper money, fiat money, plastic money, digital money. UPI मतलब Paytm, Google Pay, Phone Pay, right? So what is it? Is it paper money? No. Is it fiat money? Is it plastic money? It is digital money. Option D. A country replaces silver coins with cheap metal. This shows money must always be precious. Not really. Value comes from government authority. Barter is more reliable. Coins must be heavy. The correct option is B, because the country means the reserve bank of the central bank of that particular country. So the option B. Barter disappeared because farming ended. Money made trade easier. Barter was banned. Traders preferred animals. The correct option is which one? The correct option, yes, that's right, is option B. Depositing money in a bank shows money is a medium of exchange, store of value, measure of utility, or labor equivalent. Now this again is an important phrase because store of value is again an important phrase. इसका definition आपको मालूम होना चाहिए जो कि आपकी किताब में है. Option B. Which feature of money helps strangers trade easily? Durability, universal acceptability, barter exchange, or perishability? Which is the thing? It's pretty obvious. It's option B. Tanvi buys milk and vegetables with one 500 rupee note. This shows medium of exchange. Entertainment value. Let's look at option C and D. Prestige value or risk value. The option A is the right one. Goldsmith's receipts used in trade were, now this is again an important part of your chapter. इसको explanation video या अपनी किताब में से देख लेना. Receipts were used in the trade. See, if you look at my explanation video, it will be very thorough. It will be very detailed and explained in great detail, and I've done it in both English and Hindi separately. So जिस भी भाषा में आपको समझने में आसानी हो, whichever language you are more comfortable in, see that particular language video. YouTube का settings change कर लो so that you get it in my original language voice. Goldsmith's receipts used in trade were commodity money, barter goods, representative money, or foreign currency. The correct option is option C. Which modern day method removes the need for physical cash? Checks, UPI, coins, or barter? Which modern day method removes the need for physical cash? Checks, UPI, coins, barter? It is UPI because that is the modern day method, because checks वगैरह तो काफी सालों से हमारे पास हैं, तो UPI. A fisherman wants salt but the salt trader wants iron tools. Exchange fails due to distance, no double coincidence of wants. I have already mentioned it to you. Option B. Money does not spoil because of its portability, durability, divisibility, or acceptability. It does not spoil. What is the advantage that money has? Portability, durability, divisibility, or acceptability? The correct option is option B. Which is not an advantage of money? Easy to store, used for future payments. Actually, in this thing, money does not spoil, but it's not spoil cannot be this thing with acceptability. Durability is durable means it kind of, it is there, even if it gets spoiled, you can always change it. Which is not an advantage of money. Easy to store, it is an advantage. Used for future payments, easy to carry, yes. Requires both parties to want each other's goods. So this is not the option D. Governments print limited currency to keep money valuable. Scrap barter, increase coin weight, reduce digital payments. It is A, option A, which is, you will study it in economics in later classes. Long distance trade increased because money is banned in villages, portable and acceptable, heavy, difficult to store. Option B, long distance trade increased because money is portable. Okay, increased because portable and acceptable. Yeah, B, correct. Correct evolution of money. Which is the correct evolution? What is the order in which this thing happened? I mean, you need to understand. So it cannot be digital. It has to be barter first, right? Barter. Then you have commodity, metal coins, paper, and digital. So option B. Okay, so I hope, please write in the comment section कि 20 में से कितने MCQs आपके सही निकले. Let's now look at the section B, which is of definition, 7 definitions of 2 marks each. Define barter system. So you need to write it like this, proper formal language में आपको लिखना पड़ेगा. So the barter system is a method of exchange where goods and services are traded directly without the use of money. For example, and always when it is of 2 marks, ensure that आप एक एग्जाम्पल भी दे जहां पर भी आप दे सके. एग्जाम्पल देंगे तो आपका द एग्जामिनर, आपके टीचर को पता चलेगा कि आपको कॉन्सेप्ट की क्लैरिटी is there. You are very clear about the concept. For example, a farmer may exchange wheat for a pot made by a potter. Define double coincidence of wants. Double coincidence of wants means both people involved in the exchange must want what the other is offering at the same time. For instance, a tailor must need vegetables exactly when the vegetable seller needs clothes. So please give an example. It will help, the teacher will not get an opportunity to cut even half mark. Okay. Define money. Money is a universally accepted medium of exchange that is durable, portable, divisible, and works as a store of value. You need to write all these 4 adjectives of money. This is very important. If you miss out on that, you will lose marks. So it is durable, it is a store of value, it is divisible, and it is portable. You need to write all 4. It allows people to buy goods easily. For example, paying 100 rupees for groceries. Define commodity money. What is commodity money? Commodity money refers to items that have intrinsic means basic value, such as gold, silver, salt, or grain, and were used for trade in ancient times. People accepted these goods because they could be used or consumed. So you see, I've given examples here. So jahan par bhi ho, example zarur do. Okay, this is, I'm telling you, do not miss out on that. Define legal tender. Legal tender is money issued and guaranteed by a government, and everyone must accept it for payment. For example, in India, you use the rupees. You go to USA, you will use the dollar. You go to any country in Europe, you'll use the euro, right? So in different countries, in Japan, you will use the yen. In Moscow, in Russia, you'll use the ruble. So every country will have its own currency, right? For example, the 50 rupee note is legal tender. So it is being certified by the central bank of that country for all transactions within India. Define digital money. Digital money refers to electronic payments such as UPI, debit cards, net banking, or mobile wallets. It does not require physical cash and can be transferred instantly using a phone or computer. Last, define representative money. This is important. Representative money is a token receipt given, let's say, by jewelers, right? That can be exchanged for a fixed amount of a valuable commodity like gold stored elsewhere. Early traders often use such gold receipts instead of carrying metal. So they would carry these gold receipts and use it for indulging in trade. Now let's look at some fill in the blanks. Oh, sorry. The biggest limitation of the barter system was the lack of the double coincidence of wants. I've again and again saying double coincidence of wants is the most important concept in this particular chapter. Gold and silver used in the early trade are examples of what kind of money they are. I just now told you they are examples of commodity money. Sorry, not commodity money. A rupee note has value because it is backed by the central bank or the Reserve Bank of India or the government of that country, right? UPI transactions are an example of what kind of money? They are example of digital money. Money acts as a dash of value. I just now told you, store of value where it can be saved for the future. Let's look at some true or false. I've tried to give you all kinds of questions. So this 80 marks ka question paper agar aapne solve kar liya, that means your chapter is very thoroughly prepared for the examination. True or false? Barter was simple because goods were easy to store. This is false, right? This is not true. Modern coins get value mainly from government authority. That's absolutely true. Money made long distance trade easy. It is true. Digital money requires face-to-face contact. It is false. Paper money replaced metal because it was easier to carry. That is absolutely true. Now let's look at some long format, the textbook questions, because some students said that please also include the textbook questions in the paper. So I've included your textbook questions also, the important ones, so that you know how to answer them. So this is a 3-mark question. How does the barter system take place and what kinds of commodities were used for exchange under the system? So the barter system worked by directly exchanging goods or services without using money. Please take a note of the formal language in which I have written. Okay, you can take a screenshot if you wish to. So the barter system worked by directly exchanging goods or services without using money. It depended on double coincidence of wants, meaning both people must want what the other has. So agar barter system ka question ho, so you will have to mistake mat karna, is particular phrase ko chhodna mat. You have to include it in the answer. Double coincidence of wants. I'm again and again repeating this, meaning both people, and then you have to explain what it means. Both people must want what the other has. So people traded what they had for what they needed, such as exchanging an extra eraser for a pencil. Many commodities were used for exchange, including cowrie shells, salt, tea, tobacco, etc. This system was practiced widely across the world and formed the earliest means of economic exchange. Okay, so this is how you need to write the answers. What were the limitations? ये भी आपसे पूछा जा सकता है 3 मार्क का क्वेश्चन, तो उसमें आपको ये लिखना है. The barter system had several limitations. पहले तो लिख दो कि हाँ उसमें काफी खामियां थी. There were a lot of drawbacks. What were the drawbacks? It required a double coincidence of wants. Number 1. Again, you repeat what it says. Then it was difficult to decide the fair value of exchange goods. This is point number 2. It was difficult to decide the fair exchange. कि okay, मैं गाय देना चाहता हूं, तुम भैंस देना चाहती हो, मेरी गाय का क्या वैल्यू रहेगा, तुम्हारी भैंस का क्या वैल्यू रहेगा, क्योंकि हो सकता है मेरी गाय 3 साल की है, तुम्हारी भैंस 8 साल की है. So will I give a young cow in exchange for an older buffalo? So it was difficult to kind of arrive at that kind of arrangement that okay, both parties agreed on something. So it was difficult to decide the fair value of exchange goods because there was no common measure of value. Goods like animals were not divisible. That is another problem. Or easy to carry, creating portability problems. This is point number 3, limitation number 3. The items such as wheat spoiled quickly, or vegetables or fruits, etc., leading to issues of durability. Point number 4, limitation number 4. So if you can even write this as points. You don't have to write it as a paragraph. You can write it as 1, 2, 3, 4. Even that is perfectly all right in social science. These difficulties led to the need for money. I hope you are understanding it. It is also helping you revise the entire chapter. What were the salient features of ancient Indian coins? Ancient Indian coins had distinct features. They were made of precious metals such as gold, silver, and copper or their alloys. The coins had symbols punched on them, including images of animals, trees, kings, queens, and deities. Each side of a coin carried different motifs. These coins were issued by rulers, and the coins of powerful kingdoms were accepted widely across regions. These coins made trade easier by replacing the barter system. How has money as a medium of exchange transformed over time? तो ये पूरा जो मनी का सिस्टम है कैसे बदला है, ये आपसे 3 या कभी-कभी 4 मार्क का भी पूछा जा सकता है. So the money transformed greatly over time. Exchange began with the barter system. तो पहले आपको बार्टर सिस्टम की बात करनी पड़ेगी. उसके बाद मेटल कॉइन्स की बात करनी पड़ेगी कि किस किस तरह के थे, जो अभी हमने पिछले आंसर में देखा. उसके बाद जब ट्रेड एक्सपैंड हुआ, कैरिंग लार्ज क्वांटिटीज वाज डिफिकल्ट, right? So then it became paper money. So coins, it became paper money. And in modern times, money has also taken digital format. UPI ho, debit card ho, credit card ho, you're using that, or you are even transferring money from inside your house through net banking, right? So cashless and secure transactions. So आपको ये चारों steps लिखने पड़ेंगे. अगर एक step बीच में आपने paper money छोड़ दिया, coins छोड़ दिए, आपके marks कटेंगे. So you need to put all the 4 points very clearly. What steps might have been taken in ancient times so that Indian coins could become the medium of exchange across countries? Now, this is a slightly longish answer. To ensure Indian coins became widely accepted across countries, steps were taken, like powerful kingdoms issued high quality coins of precious metal, making them valuable. Gold, silver kind of coins were issued, right? Their symbols were there, and then long distance maritime trade routes with regions like Rome, Hua, Southeast Asia, Hua, etc. They helped spread these coins. So these coins traveled to other regions of the world. Consistent minting standard. So minting standard was good. The quality of minting of these coins अच्छी क्वालिटी के बनते थे, and acceptance by traders across kingdoms enabled Indian coins to become a reliable medium of exchange internationally. Okay, now read the following lines from the Arthashastra. An annual salary of 60 pannas could be the substituted by an adaka of grain per day, enough for 4 meals. One adaka is equal to about 3 kg. What does this indicate about the value of 1 panna? The fine for failing to help a neighbor was 100 pannas. Compare this with the annual salary. What conclusion का? ये आपके टेक्स्ट बुक का क्वेश्चन है, तो आई थॉट इसका भी मैं आंसर बता देता हूं. The statement from the Arthashastra shows that 1 adaka of grain, about 3 kg, was equal to 1 day's wage, indicating that 1 panna had considerable purchasing power. तो 1 panna से आप काफी कुछ खरीद सकते थे. लेकिन comparing this with the fine of 100 pannas, so 100 pannas का अगर किसी पर जुर्माना लगता था, फाइन लगता था, तो इसका मतलब यह है कि उस राज्य में अगर आप किसी पड़ोसी की मदद नहीं करेंगे तो उसका काफी बड़ा फाइन भरना पड़ता था. द पेनल्टी वॉज एक्सट्रीमली हाई इफ यू डिड नॉट हेल्प अ नेबर, राइट? So this suggests that ancient society placed great importance on mutual help, social responsibility, and community welfare, encouraging strong human values through strict moral and economic expectations. So this is how you need to interpret. ये थोड़ा सा टेढ़ा सवाल है, तो इसीलिए मैंने इसका आंसर दिया है कि आप समझ लें कि उसको कन्वर्ट करके कि इसका मतलब क्या निकालना चाहिए. Section F, long answers. This is for 23 marks. Explain the major limitation of the barter system. We have already done this, but I've again read it because I just thought, let me again do this revision. This can also come as a 5-mark question, right? Lamba answer. So we are again talking about this. So what are the limitations? Double coincidence of wants, then the problem of durability, the problem of portability, right? Storage of goods, all these things, and lack of a common measure of value. So all the points you need to mention. And if it is a 5-mark or a 4-mark question, ensure that you use enough number of examples, right? So this is the same kind of thing. And long distance trade was also limited. So इसमें 5 points मैंने लिख दिए हैं. Then the introduction of money solved all these problems. So how did the introduction of money solve all these problems? Because then all these limitations got solved because it became an accepted medium of exchange. It was portable, you could take it. It was also durable. It was backed by legal tender. So all that problem we could was no longer there. And with money, long distance trade also expanded because people could just take coins and travel from one place to another. Describe the evolution of money from the barter stage to the digital money. This also we have done, but this is now for 5 marks, right? So money evolved. Again, you need to talk about money. Then you need to talk about coins. Then you need to talk about paper money, right? Metal coins के बारे में. Now you see I have written it in more detail out here. Metal coins, then you need to write about paper money, and then finally you need to talk about digital money. So you can also include the representative money out here. This can be another thing which you can include. Since it's a 5-mark question, you can put the representative money also in between, so that between coins and paper money, right? And governments began printing paper money, official paper currency, the 100 rupee note and the 500 rupee note that you see. And in the modern age, money continues to evolve in the form of digital money, and you can talk about the advantages of digital money, that you do not need to have cash transactions. You can go in for cashless transactions. What are the key functions of money? Explain each with suitable examples. Now this is an important question. Let's look at it carefully. Money performs 4 major functions. Okay, the first is the medium of exchange, that you can buy and sell any kind of goods. It could be vegetables, it could be a house, it could be anything for that matter, clothes, everything, right? Then unit of value. When I say house, I meant things for house, buying tiles, buying window frames, etc. Unit of value, money provides a common measure for valuing goods, etc. Like instead of saying 2 bags of rice equals 3 pots, no, money can say that, okay, 3 bags of rice, I will pay you 1,000 rupees. Then store of value, because money can be stored, that does not give a problem. Then standard of deferred payment, that is you can actually pay even later, right? It does not have to happen. You can always say that, okay, I will make the payment after 4 days, right? So all that kind of thing can be done. So borrowing and lending would has become easy with the money part. Through all these four functions, money supports all forms of economic activity. Then why is money considered better than barter for modern economies? Again, it's a repetitive. Why I have written it like that? Because the same question you can be asked differently, and I don't want my students to be confused. इसलिए मैंने उसी क्वेश्चन को अलग से लिखा है यहाँ पे. The money removes the need for the double coincidence of want. So I'm hoping that आपका पूरा चैप्टर इस पूरे टेस्ट पेपर से रिवाइज हो गया है, right? So these are the different points that you need to definitely include while you are writing this particular answer. Money acts as a common unit of value. It's all repetitive, it's nothing new. The same question, I just want to highlight the fact that you can get the same question in a different way and you should not get confused कि अरे हमको इस तरह से तो क्वेश्चन की प्रैक्टिस नहीं की थी, इसलिए मैंने सेम क्वेश्चन को 2 या 3 तरीके से लिखा है, right? So this is how you need to write your answers. There's one last question. Explain the importance of government authority. Now, modern money has value not because of the paper. It's not because of the paper, but because it is signed by the Reserve Bank of India governor, right? And it is issued by the government of India. It is issued and guaranteed by the government. This government authority is essential for several reasons. First, it creates universal acceptability. When the government declares that a note is legal tender, every person in the country must accept it for payment. This trust creates smooth transactions. Then the government backing ensures stability, that whatever be the case, this money will not go out of circulation. So that's something the government does. Then government authority protects people from fraud. Every currency note carries security features so that you know that it is a genuine note and not a fake note. And government backed currency supports the entire banking system. Banks, loans, savings, insurance, whatever you need, everything goes through the entire banking process. If money were not guaranteed by a trusted authority, agar government se nahi hoga, then it becomes a problem because you don't know whether you can trust whether to use this currency or not. So that is essentially the entire thing. Okay, so with this we come to the end of this particular 80 marks test paper on the barter system. I hope this is clear. I hope it को करने से आपका revision भी हो गया. You now know how to write your answers. I would suggest that you can write it in points, in separate paragraphs, so that it becomes easier for your teacher to check. Also, as I said, give enough number of examples. Definitions सारे याद रखो और उसमें किस तरह के keywords को इस्तेमाल जरूर करना है, उस पर ध्यान जरूर देना. Okay, I'll see you now in another video. Till then, tata, bye bye. Thank you very much. Namaskar.